Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Parboiled. Now, if you're not familiar with Parboiled, it's essentially just partially cooking something before you finish it off in some other cooking method. So, if you are over at the Sleuth household for a Christmas dinner, you're going to see me roasting potatoes by parboil them first to make sure that you try. As weird as that sounds, you're actually trying to dry them so that they crisp up really nicely in the oven. And the best way to do that is actually to boil them first, which essentially would allow you to actually release a lot of the steam inside them. Now, if you've done what Sleuth has done here and you've parboiled the potatoes, I mean, that's really just mashed potatoes at that point, far too long, and they turn into this mash, you've gone too far. With a title like that, I'm just thinking obviously of the festive season around the corner. I know for you Yanks, you're going to be preparing for Thanksgiving weekend just around the corner. And for us, the Christmas parties here have already started in the offices. So, I think highly topical. Now, today's puzzle is another one from James Sinclair's Artisanal Sudoku series. Now, what I've historically realized is that some of them are highly approachable, meaning that you end up solving them in a lot shorter of a time than 10 minutes. So what I've done is, as I normally do, is I've prepared more than one puzzle, just in case the first one does take me a very short amount of time. The second puzzle is a 6 out of 10 rating, so I imagine that will definitely blow me over 10 minutes. Just in case I do finish the first one fairly quickly. Anyway, let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule set with Parboiled. That's the wrong puzzle. There you go. Parboiled by James Sinclair, and the following set of rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, means place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. If you can hear my dog, that's because she's very upset that I am hiding the second dinner from her, because her sister didn't eat it, and she's just staring at the desk. I don't want to say daggers in her eyes, but certainly a lot of sympathy in her eyes, saying, how could you possibly not be feeding me enough? Killer cages, the sum of the digits inside each cage is equal to the small number in the top left corner, and digits in cells with a shaded square must be even. And I'm trying to find a cage where, right, let's go for the 10 cage here. These two cells have to add up to 10. If that cell is 2, this would have to be 8. These two cells are 12. These two cells are 3, not 1, 3, etc., etc. Then we've got the gray squares. All of these have to be even digits. You can basically pencil mark them as 2, 4, 6, or 8. And that's all the rules we have for today. So, as always, if you want to play along, link will be in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. Right, so this is 1, 2, and it's looking at a 4, which is 1, 3. Well, it can't be 1 here, so that's 3, that's 1. 17, I've got a couple of them. 8, 9, 3, I've got a couple of them, may as well pencil mark them. These are all the forced cages. And then we kind of run out of forced cages, basically. This is not 2 or 8, so this is 4 or 6. Again, this is not 2 or 8, this is 4 or 6. Kind of wondering if it's repeating. No. 8 and 9 are looking at the 12 cage. 3 ways of making 12 in 2 cells. 5, 7, which is what this is. 8, 4, which it isn't, and 9, 3, which it isn't. 9 cage, well, it's not 1, 8, it's not 2, 7. It could be 3, 6, and it could be 4, 5. So essentially I have a virtual 4, 6 pair between them. If this is 4, this would be 3, 6. If this is 6, this would be 4, 5. Interesting. She's very upset with me. Problem is, I normally give in to her quite easily, which is not the best thing to do. Right, some Sudoku, since I can't see any killer cages. None of these are 1s. The 1, 2 pair here means that's not a 1. Can't have a 1 inside a 2-cell 11 cage, because that cell would have to be 11. So that's a 1. Then one of these 2 cells is a 1. That can't be a 1 because it's even. It's not enough. So the only thing I know about this 10 is it's not 3, 7, because the 7 is in here. I feel like I'm missing loads in this puzzle because it's got a 2 out of 10 difficulty, and normally these are just like a cakewalk, so to speak. You just keep spotting one thing after the next, after the next. Right, so let's have a think about this. This is not 1, 2, 4, 6, or 8, 9. So this is, could be 3, could be 5, could be 7. And this cell here is not a 3. Can this be 3 with an 8? Yes. I mean, I may as well think about this 11 cage. This is not 4, 6, 8, or 9. So it's not 9, 2 that way, but 2 and 9 works. 3 and 8 works. 4 is not available, as in 4, 7. 5, 6, I think works. This is not brilliant, by the way. This is, in fact, it is 2. No 2s. No 2s in any of these. That's a 2, that's a 9, that's an 8, that's a 9. Means that this is 3, 5, 7. It is not a 3. So this is another 5, 7. That's the 3. This is not 3, 6 anymore. So that's a 4, 5, which gives me the 6, the 4. The 4, 5 gives me the 7, the 5. And then this is 8 and 9. That is not the 9. That's the 8. That's the 9. She's very upset with me. 2, 4, 8 means that's a 6. This is not 8 or 2. So this is another 4, 6. This is not 2, 2. I'm going to label them as 4, 6, 8 just so I don't forget them. This is not 8, but it could be a bunch of other things. 2, 4, 6. This is not 6, it's 2, 4, 8. You've got 3 evens in column 1, which means the 10 cage is not even. Essentially, if it's 4, 6, I'll be left with 2 and 8 in 3 cells. If it's 2, 8, I'll be left with 4, 6 in 3 cells. So that's not going to work. Now, it also can't be 3, 7. So this is actually forced. This is 1, 9. That's 2. That's 1. None of these are 2 now. So that's 4, 6, 8. And then obviously all of the rest are odd digits, which are, I'm going to say 3, 5, 7. I am going to pencil mark this. She's left the room now in protest. I'm sure you guys are hugely appreciating the fact that I'm keeping you updated about all of this. Why am I struggling so much right now? Not the 5, not the 1, not the 9. Trying to figure out what's the other cell that's in here, and I haven't got a clue. Okay. This is not my smoothest of solves, clearly. So in here is what, 6, 8, 9? Going for it. In fact, 8 and 9, that's 6. This is an 8, 9 pair. Therefore, that's not an 8. It also means 8 and 9 are in here, and it can't be in this cell. So this is 8, 9. That's even. So that's the 8. That's the 9. That 8 bounces in here, gives me 4, gives me 6, gives me 4. I know that 6 is in one of these 2 cells, which is not a lot to go on. 6 is in here somewhere. Yeah, not a lot to go on in general. But so far, every time I've done Sudoku, it's been quite fruitful, such as no 1s is a 1. No 2s is a 2. These are 3 and something. Well, that 3 tells me that's the 3. I think that's a 4. Gives me a 6 in here. And it gives me a 5, 7 pair. Also means that 3 is in one of these 2 cells. Excuse me. Is that 5, 7? And this is 2, 4. I think I can repeat the same trick again. I've got 3 evens in column 4, meaning that this is not an even 10. So this is either 1, 9 or 3, 7, of which both seem to be achievable right now. And I haven't really thought about the 11 cage, but that's fine. We'll come back to it. This is 2, 4, or 8. It's not 6. In fact, that 9 gave me a 1, gave me a 9, which gave me another 1 in here. 9 is in one of these 3 cells. In fact, that is not a 1 or a 9. So that is another 3, 7. And the 3, 7 doesn't help. So what am I looking for now? I need a 5 somewhere. It's not enough. That 4 isn't helpful. I mean, I'm going to just think about what is the rest of this box now. So it's 2, 3, 7. In fact, no 2s in here. And I'm going to say 8. So this is 3 or 7. And then there's 2 and 8 with another 3, 7. Okay. So there's 2, 8 and then another 3, 7. Then there's another 3, 7 in here with a 6. And then in here is another 3, 7 with a 5. This is highly unusual that it's not quite falling apart, so to speak. What am I missing? So there's another 5, 7. And then I'm going to say 2 and 4. Not hugely useful. 11 cage. Yeah, not too sure what's going on. No ones, no 1. No 1 inside the 11 cage. I kind of failed to use that even though I spotted it earlier. That's not a 2. That gives me a 2, 4 pair. Therefore, this is 5, 7. Then the rest of this column is the remaining cells, which are 3, 6, and something. 8. That is not a 6. Two, 4, in technically possibly 8. I don't have a 5. And then essentially I have another 8, 9. Right, so this is not 8, 9. No 9. No 9. That took me a while. That's 9. That's 8. Then I need another 2, 4, 8. Which, to be fair, can be this cell. So, and then I need another odd digit, the 5. Yeah, this is too many options. Not over the moon about that. 8 in here. No, no. So it can be 2, 9. Can't be 3, 8. It could be 4, 7. And it could be 6, 5. That's all of the pencil marks now. No 3 is a 3. I think the reason this is going so slowly is I'm just not doing enough Sudoku. That's the problem. That is, as usual, a very common problem, unfortunately. 6, 7 pair, that's the 5. Don't need the corner pencil marks anymore. That 5 doesn't help. 5, 7, 8, 9. Nope. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Also no. Okay. Any of these helpful? There's a 1 in here. There's a lot of overlap between these cells. And in fact, no 9s means there is a 9 up here. That's 9, that's 2. Neither of these are 2 now. That's the only 2 that's possible. So that's 2, 4. So I have another 5, 7, not a 7. So that's the 7, that's the 5. Then I have 5 and something else in here. 6. And it's seemingly unresolved, although I've got 5s lining up in rows 8 and 9. So that's not a 5, that's 6, that's 5. That's not a 5 either. 4, 8 pair means that's the 5. 7, 5, 6, 7, 5, 7. Lovely. 2 4s not resolved. It's okay. 4 8s, 5s. Feel like I'm missing. Yeah, there you go. That's not a 6. That is a 6. So this is 3 4 8. The only place that is a 3 is in here. This is another 4 8, which is, I'm going to say unresolved. And then 2 cells that we know. 2 and something. 2 and 9. 9 gave me a 9. 2, not 2. Sorry, I meant to say 8 and 2. 8 gave me 3 and 8. 3 gave me 7 and 3. Gave me 5 and 7. 4 and 5. 4 and 8 not resolved. 2 and 4 not resolved. This is 2 or 4. It's a 4, 2, 4, 8. 4, 8. 8 gave me 9 and 8. 7. And if I've not made any mistakes, 6 for the finish. Not the smoothest of solves from me. I think I just needed to do more Sudoku. Now, I'll be honest, I am tempted to just keep going. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to take a look at the second puzzle now and see what it brings across to us. So, this is Tropotaxis. Normal Sudoku rules apply, we know that. All clues are standard, killer cages we know. Arrows and something about shaded squares being even. Yeah, we've covered the shaded squares, so the only thing that's new is the arrow sums. Essentially, these 3 cells will add up to a value when you add up each of these ones. So for example, 1, 2, and 3, they add up to 6. You'd have to put 6 inside the circle. So whatever the arrows are, they will always add up to whatever's inside the circle. Fairly straightforward. I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. So a lot of these are, well, I say a lot of these, there's only 2 cages. The 10 cage and this 30 cage are forced. This is not 2 or 4, it's 6 or 8. Because these cells, and I'll be honest, I wasn't sure that this could be a 6. If this is 1, 2, 3, how am I going to make 6 in here with these 2 cells? So essentially, that wouldn't have to be a 1. This would be like 1, 5. This would be 6. So technically, I can make this 6, but regardless, it's 6, 7, 8, or 9. This is also another 3-cell arrow. Essentially, if you think about the minimum that it can be when all of these are unique, it has to be at least 6. Now, I just realized I probably made a mistake in here, but easily rectified in box 6. Essentially, you've got 5 cells, when you divide them by 2, that add up to whatever's inside the circle. So even if I go for the absolute minimum, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm already at 15. And you divide that by 2, 7.5, but you cannot have, obviously, a non-integer number in these Sudoku puzzles. So this is 8 or 9. This is another 6, 7, 8, or 9. The challenge with these is as long as 9 is available, I can always have a 6. It feels like what it's almost saying is pay attention to 6, 7, 8, 9s across the puzzle. It doesn't at the same time feel like it's enough. So for example, you can see that there's 3 in row 5. There is 3 in column 5. I'm sure that's not coincidence. If I can figure out what it all means. Let's think about this for a second. This is at least 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 10. Plus the 1, that's 11. Divide that by 2, again, 6 is achievable. Am I going to have to color these? Sorry, I'm just going to double check the rules because I skimmed them fairly quickly. Yeah, just killer cages, and we've done all of them. Arrows, which is where we've been focusing. And the digits in the cell with the shaded square, which is only the 1, are even. Okay. So if I don't have a 1 in here, that's 2, 3, 4, that's a 9. I'm pretty sure I can force this to be 1, 8, so I don't even have to have a 1 on the 3-cell arrow. Not very helpful. I feel like I'm missing something significant. Right, here is something. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I cannot make these cells from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because essentially I'd end up with 6 cells that are made up of 5 digits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I actually have to use on this arrow a digit that is outside of this group, otherwise I break the puzzle. The only one that works is 1, 2, and 6. There's no 1, 2 in here. This is 1, 2. And this is now, sorry, I didn't mean to add the 3. This is 1, 2, 6. This has to be a 9. Now, this is not 1, 8, not 2, 7. It's not 3, 6 either. It can only be 4, 5. Right, finally a break-in at minute 4. This is not 6. And essentially all of these are 7, 8, 9s. Can't have a 9 on an arrow that leads up to 1 digit, so that's not a 9. This is 1 or 2. This is 8 or 9. So it's the minimum 7 plus 1 to get to 8. It also means that this digit, whatever it is in here. That's another 7, 8. Interestingly, the rest of this is not, it can't be 1, 2, 3. So 6 is off the table. It also cannot be 1, 2, 4. So 7 is off the table. Because the minimum now is 1, 3, 4 to get to 8, or 2, 3, 4 to get to 9. I'm going to say that in every scenario, this is a 3, 4 pair. Surely that's not right. No, it's not right. Because I could have 3, 5 with a 1 in here. And that would be fine, and that would be 9. But there is definitely a 3. Because if I go for 4, 5, that is way too big. So this is 3, 4, or 5 with a definite 3. That means that is not a 3, and it does give me a 3, 4, 5 triple. Meaning all of the remaining digits are 6, 7, 8, 9. Look at the same tip of the arrow in here. If this is not 6 with a 1, 2 pair, I've broken this cell. I'm not going to be able to add up to it. So that has to be 6. This is a 1, 2 pair. And none of these are 6 as a result. Interesting. Excuse me. Seven, 8, and 9. So they still can include a 6 with 1 and 2. The 1 and 2 would have to be split because of this 1, 2. And therefore the 6 would have to be in one of these two cells. I mean, these are not 9s. 9s are definitely up here. So this is not 7, 8, 9. This is not 4, 5. I feel like I'm running out of digits in here now. Because essentially I can only have a second 1, 2, then 3, and then 6. I think this is forced. And then on the other side, so essentially there is a 9 in here, plus 1 of 7, 8, and then the other 7, 8 is in here. So yeah, this is correct. This is 1, 2, 3, 6. And these are 4, 5, and another 1, 2. Now I can't have 4 and 5 on this because that's already 9 plus whatever this is, that's at least 10. So this is one of the 4, 5s. The second one is on here. And I'm going to say, even if it's a 4, that can't be 6. Otherwise, I've broken the puzzle. That's already at 10. So this is a low digit of 1, 2, 3, plus another 1, 2, plus one of 4 5s. Now the minimum now is 1, 2, 4. So 7 is still achievable, technically. It does give me a quadruple of 1, 2, 4, 5. And essentially in here is another 3, 7, 8 with a definite 3. 6 means there's no 6 in there. There's definitely a 6 in here. It's a fascinating puzzle. 1, 2, 3. That has to be the 3. Because, you know, this is a 1, 2 pair. Now that this is a 3, technically I could do 2, 4. Realistically, I can do anything that's in here, can't I? Because I could do 1, 3, 5, and that would be 9. I could do 2, 3, 4 and not even have a 1. The one thing that I cannot do now is get to 7, because that would require 1, 2, 4, and it's clearly not an option anymore. One of these two cells is a 7. Not a lot to go on, to be fair. I forgot. Come on, Sleuth. That's 9. That's 8. These are not 8s. That 9 is pointing at an 8. So this is 1, 3, 4. Nothing else would actually work. 2 and 5 are gone. 1, 4 pair gives me 5, 2, 1. Of course, another 8 in here means that's another 1, 3, 4. It's not like, it's as if like I haven't learned my lesson from the previous puzzle where I'm still not doing a lot of Sudoku. And let's fix that. There. 8 gives me 9, gives me 8. Now we know there has to be a 1 in here. Don't like corner pencil marking across boxes. It would probably confuse me or catch me out. 1 in here means these are not 1s. That's a 2, 6 pair, and then 7, 8, 9. Okay. 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Not bad. 2 cells that add up to 8. Not 2, 6, not 3, 5. Can only be 1, 7. No 7s. I'm actually going to remove the corner pencil marks now because essentially 7 is in here, 8 is there, 9 is here, 6 is there. So there's a lot going on in this box now. So 8 and 3 cells has to be either 1, 2, 5 or 1, 3, 4. 1 is in one of 2 cells based on Sudoku. But nothing stops this from being the 1. So not sure I can force this yet. This is not 1, 7. Can't be 2, 6. This is 3, 5. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's got to be a 7. That's 1. There's no 9 in here. And that's a 9. Like I said, it's as if I didn't learn a lesson about doing some more Sudoku partway through the puzzle. The remaining digits are 2, 5, and 9. 2, 5, not hugely helpful. 2, 5, and 9, not hugely helpful either. Let's have a just kind of double check. I think all the arrows, I've kind of had to think about them. Not really done much with this 8 one yet. So it doesn't include a 6. So obviously none of these are 6. But it can include a 5. So can't exactly do much with this. So this is 2, 5 or 3, 4. Which obviously would dictate what the other cells are as well. Okay. Don't know. The second one too, I mean, technically could be here, so. This is This is 6, 7, 8, or 9, and it's not 6, 8, or 9. This is 5 or 7. Not a lot to go on. So 1, 2, 5, 7. And this is obviously not the second 1, 2 because we've got 2 of them. So this is, I'm going to say 5 or 7. And therefore I've got a 5, 7 pair. That can't be 5. That's 2. That's 1. What are you doing, Sleuth? 1, 2, 5, 7. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's go with this for a second. Yes, because I'm entirely ignoring the rest of this. That's what I'm doing. Not 2. 1 has to be in here. These are not 1s. This is 3 or 4. Don't know which one it is. I did say this is a 2, 9 pair because that wasn't a 5 anymore. No 5 doesn't mean anything. I feel like I can hear Mrs. Sleuth parking outside, which is interesting because she didn't actually take the car today. So in a second you will hear the door open and our dogs go crazy. 7 is in one of 2 cells. 8 is in one of 2 cells. I don't think I'm up, like, I feel like I'm barking up the wrong tree here. What is this column? I need 4, 8, 6, and 9. 9 is not here. 9 is not there. That's 9. So this is 4 or 6 because the 8s are up there. And I can't exactly do much with that, can I? Almost. And the 5 is unclear. No 5s. 3, 5 pair. That's 5. That's 7. 3, 4, 6, 8. So this is not 8, but it could be 3, 4, or 6, not 3. This is just 4 or 6. I feel like there's almost like a quintuple happening here. If 1, 2, 3, 4, no, 5, 6. Not 1, not 3, 5. I'm going to say 2, 4, 6. Still too many options. And then another 2, 4, 6 with a 7. That can't be here. 7 is in there. 9, 8, 7. We know that 6 is on none of these cells. So 6 are in here. Which, no, it's not. It could be here. Come on, Sleuth. I was going to say, without the 1, yeah, I've got all the low digits. And there's a 2 in here. That's 9. That's 6. That can't be 4 or 6. That's 8. This is now 4, 3. That's a 1, 4 pair. That's a 2, 3 pair, which gives me 4, 3. Don't know about this 6, 8. That's a 2. 6, 8 something. 6, 8, 9. 9 with another 6, 8. And then whatever this digit is, 5, which gives me 4, 5. Not 7 or 8. So that's the 3. That's the 7. That's the 8. That's the 6. That's the 8. That is not a 6. This 2, 6 isn't resolved. This 1, 4 isn't resolved. Actually, hang on. It is 4, 1, 2, 6, and this is 2, 6. Okay. Getting there. Slowly but surely. So there's another 2, 3, 4 in here with the 6. And these are essentially 1, 2, 3, 4. No, there's something else. A 5 because of that too. And the 5 could be anywhere. So I'm kind of surprised like how persistent this has been, but not to worry. So low digits, low digits, low digits. So I have another low digit plus 5 and 7. 7 can only be in here. One of these is a 5 with a low digit. That is 1, 2, 3, or 4. Nines, come on, Sleuth. Which means these are 1, 2, 6. Can't have a 6 on an 8 cell. So if that's 2, that would have to be 5, and that would have to be 1, which is impossible. So that's the 1. And 2 with 1 and 5 is impossible as well. So yeah, that's a 1. These are not 1s. That's not a 1, that's a 1. 2 would require a 5 in here, possible. 3 or 4 would require 3 or 4 in here, possible. This is 3, 4, or 5, not helpful. And essentially 2, 3, 4 with a 6, again not helpful. 1 in here, not helping. I feel like I'm missing something obvious now. I could just see it. Probably, usually, Sudoku. So we're done with 1s. So here is 1 of 2, 3, or 4 with the 5. I'm just going to pencil mark. It's not quite enough. Not quite enough. 2, 3, 4, 6. 2, 3, 4, 6. And a 5, which is not in here. And not there. So where's the 5 in row 8? None of these are 5s. That's the only place for a 5. 5 and 3. Moves a 3 option from here. Moves a 3 option from there. Still not helpful. This was, come on, that 6 probably helped earlier. It's not 2 or 5. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4 pair in the column. That's a 2, which forces this to be a 5. 4, 3, 4. 3. 4. 1, 4. Not 1. That's the 1. Not 2, 4, or 5. That can only be a 3. And that can only be a 5. That's got to be a 6. No, that's not what I meant to type. That's 2, that's 6, that's 3. And if I've not made any mistakes, any additional mistakes, that's the 2 for the finish. 2 beautiful puzzles, Mr. Sinclair. Hope you guys enjoyed both puzzles and the video. Other than the fact that it's a painful Sudoku watch, I think a reasonable solve otherwise. I'll see you back for the next one. Bye-bye for now.